All right, heading into round 3, still tied up. We're heading on to Moonlit River Park, and look at those global bans. For Zeta here, we've got Wildling, Coordinator, Prospector, Mercenary, Fire Investigator, and Gardener all taken off the table. And Hasha will be hunting first, and we're going to get the Seer as well as the Weeping Clown banned here. Definitely an interesting choice to take off the table first, but without that first officer ban, something that we've been seeing in literally every round up until this point, I do wonder if we will be looking at a Disciple in round 3. Now, Disciple is actually very safe to come out here. The Prospector's been banned. Gardener can be a problem, or at very least annoying if she's able to time her bubble rights, and she's been globally banned. So it's pretty safe, I would say, for a Disciple to come out here. Disciple is very strong, very consistent as well as a TIE Hunter, and that's the bare minimum at least that Hasha needs, if not a farm-man elimination. We will see Aeroplanist as well as Antiquarian coming out here. With that Gravekeeper ban, I would say, I mean, Hermit or Disciple, but Hasha does have that Disciple. I would really not be surprised to see the Disciple. We could see Gamekeeper as well. We could see Gamekeeper, that's for sure, but I feel like Disciple is a little bit safer in this meta. We will see finally that Priestess being banned here. I'm a bit surprised that she wasn't banned earlier, especially on a map like Moonlit, but I would say not the biggest deal in the world. Especially if we are going to be carrying Teleport, something to that like. We will see Barmaid heading out at the end here. I would say a little bit wary of it being a Hermit. These are decent bans for a Hermit, I would say, especially with the Gravekeeper can counter those charges. So trying to keep that Hermit off the table, or at the very least countering him. But I would not be surprised to see a Disciple here. We do have Opera Singer as well as Ivy banned. Ivy finally getting into that ban jail. If Ivy wasn't banned, I would be talking about Ivy, that's for sure. But with Ivy finally taken out, I would say it's Disciple City, which I am not going to complain about at all. I love seeing Disciple gameplay. Still trying to figure out how to do those jumps myself, but I've been playing her a lot in rank, and she is, there's a reason why she is kind of notorious TIE Hunter. Now, I might just be eating my words right now, but okay, no, we will be seeing that Disciple come through. And yeah, I mean, the stage was primed. The stage was primed for a Disciple here. Not really hiding that pick at all, because she is a very strong hunter. She does have a lot of the stun capability, map pressure capability, cipher pressure as well. I would say Wax Artist also viable in this situation, but yeah, it looks like we are going to see a little bit of a switch here. Interesting to put First Officer at the first stop, but he is vulnerable against the Disciple. So yeah, it's definitely not traditional to see the Rescuer spawn at first top, and having the Barmaid instead. I would say I'm a little bit surprised that Barmaid is being put in a riskier spot. I would say Barmaid I feel like is a little bit inconsistent against Disciple, because she does, she can outrun the cat with the speed drink, but it does take a lot of it takes precise timing, and she's a little bit weak with the Dovlin because she doesn't have much to defend herself. I suppose if we are taking, no borrowed time, if we're having a double kiting build with her, couldn't be the worst situation in the world. But anyway, we will see Hasha spawn closest to that first stop, so I would say definitely a fairly likely chance of the First Officer ending up as this first chase, which is not a terrible option. It does have the downside of giving the rest of the team a little bit of an advantage, because the decoding won't be as hindered by First Officer. But yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting. Now, we will see Flywheel on both the Barmaid as well as Antiquarian. Tide Turner on First Officer and Aeroplanist, and actually full borrowed time, so no non-borrowed time builds this time around. We will see Trump Card and Detention, as well as Warp on Disciple. But things are still tied up here, so every elimination counts in this situation. And while Anne is a very consistent tie hunter, I would say Hasha definitely wants to look for a 4-man elimination here. We will be going after that first officer first, and heading actually towards Barmaid. So I would say trying to kind of take the heat off. We will see Hasha momentarily switch directions here. Not quite able to bait out that shake of the pocket watch, but it looks like we do have a fairly good idea of where first officer is. And yup, just able to sniff him out right there. Very nicely done on the prediction. First officer heading away from Barmaid here. We do have another cat, and will we see this jump? Yup, there goes the jump. Are we able to drop the pallet in time? Yes, but unfortunately not quite able to get quite enough distance there, and first officer will be going down fairly early on. Ciphers are just barely passing the halfway mark. Now, they are looking a little bit healthier than they would be otherwise, just because we do have good decoding across this entire team, more or less. I do believe Antiquarian has a slight debuff, but Aeroplanist has plus 2%. Barmaid has no decoding debuffs to speak of until she starts drinking, but not the worst situation in the world to be in. And they can let this chair sit for quite a bit because first officer does have a slower chair time. So he'll be sitting there for quite some time now. Aeroplanist is getting a little bit pressured here. We do have Hasha kind of sending out those cats. It doesn't look like the skills were locked off there, I don't think, but yeah, we still got full jetpack, still have hover as well. And it looks like we're going to let this chair sit until the last possible second, if Aeroplanist comes in at all. It's definitely not a bad idea to have Aeroplanist come in, because we do have that tide turner, and he can pretty much guarantee a rescue here. Unless, yeah, we were able to guarantee a rescue there. Very nicely done. Watching Hazuneko with that hover is just absolutely incredible. I mean, the amount of practice that he's put in with aiming, that really shows. And that's why Aeroplanist is a difficulty 3 character. Seems simple, but doing maneuvers like that is almost impossible. And yeah, we are going to see Shinami just head all the way over. All the way out of the way. But we actually have Antiquarian coming in now. Antiquarian coming in for the harassment. Definitely a little bit risky here. Yeah, we will have those skills just canceled, but that did buy time, and time is really just all we need here. Will that skill lock come up? Is that skill lock going to come up? We're actually going to switch to excitement and getting a hit on Hamatsu in the process there. That would have been a stun. The stun cancel actually would have run out in time if Hasha had not switched to excitement. However, that does mean we won't have warp, we won't have teleport coming into the end game. Trying to lock off that pallet, unfortunately just going to get stunned by it instead. We have 2 ciphers remaining here. 1 cipher has already been primed. Looks like we are just going to go ahead and pop that. Last cipher is at 95%. We do have the stun on Antiquarian, but that is going to be a cipher pop. Now Antiquarian can push for dungeon here. Hasha really does need to be careful. Excitement is going to be on cooldown. We already do have survivors at the gate, but that stun not going through. Was that the levels? Alright, you learn something new every day, I guess. IDV is on a 3D axis, and yeah, that pushback just didn't connect with the stairs. But this should be a guaranteed draw here. Looks like we are just going to go ahead and take that for what it is. So draw, definitely not terrible, definitely not what Hasha was looking for, I would say. But yeah, it's really down to Fennel survivors, but also up to mkmldy to keep that momentum going from the last round. Definitely a lot on the line here for mkmldy. And yeah, heading into the second half of round 3, things are fully tied up between ZETA and Fennel. Which is not surprising. I mean, when you have a matchup like this, when you've got the previous winners, you know, top of the board heading out of Summer IJL, it's a matchup that was definitely to be expected, but really, really impressive as well. I feel like, you know, I was definitely not worried about ZETA's performance coming into this year without Alf. but definitely concerned about it. But mkmldy really outdoing my expectations. We'll see if he's able to keep that momentum going here. We've got Seer and Priestess banned. Global bans here for Fennel are Mercenary, Barmaid, Fire Investigator, Prisoner, Wildling, Antiquarian. And we're going to see First Officer as well as Prospector coming out here. That Prospector definitely on reserve for MCO, and very excited to see what he's able to do with that. Aeroplanist for our next ban coming from ZETA, and an Acrobat. Actually, we've been seeing a surprising lack of Acrobat lately. But good to see him back, especially on his home map of Moonlit River Park. You know, very, very topical, I would say, in this current time. What with, you know, Hullabaloo and all that. I'm nervous. I'm nervous for that. That's something to talk about later, but I'm nervous about Hullabaloo not being able to have a basic attack. That scares me. But back to business here. We've got Coordinator as our final ban, and Gardener coming through as our final pick here from Fennel. Once again, we are fully tied up. If this match ends in a draw, it will go to overtime. So that is something I didn't anticipate when I started doing videos by round. But yeah, if Fennel is able to get a 3-man escape, if mkmldy is able to get a 3-man elimination, or even better, then this match can be over in just one game. But Hunter pick is coming up here. I would say I would not be surprised about a Disciple, but I'm not familiar with mkmldy's Hunter mains just yet, so we could be seeing pretty much anything that is not an Ivy or an Opera Singer, and we will be seeing the Hermit! Okay, so we're trying to make me into a ZETA fan this season. We're trying to make me a ZETA fan this season just for mkmldy. I see how it is. I see how it is. But I'm very excited to see the Hermit here, and definitely a very, I would say, a surprise pick here a little bit. I feel like Fennel might have been expecting it a little bit, possibly, with that Prospector pick. Or at the very least, that was picked in terms of the likelihood of Disciple. It's, yeah, wow. Wow. I didn't expect this. The bans were definitely very good here, but actually with Barmaid, I think Barmaid was off the table, so yeah, that, honestly, stage was kind of primed. Stage was kind of primed for Hermit. I foreshadowed that, didn't I, with talking about how Hermit wasn't viable against the last comp. But I will never say no to a Hermit. I will absolutely never say no to a Hermit, and I feel like this is really the decisive pick that ZETA needs, and that Fennel needs as well, because Hermit is a very, I would say not unstable hunter, but he's very, you know, all or nothing, 4-man or no man. Either the tide goes entirely against him or entirely for him, and it's very easy to snowball in either direction. So when you're looking for anything but a draw, pretty much in this situation, because Fennel as well has a second matchup on the same day. They're going, oh my god, who are they going against? Bones doesn't remember who played last night, but we're gonna edit that out, actually. I'm gonna rewind. Yeah, when you're in a situation where you just want any result that is not a tie, not wanting to go into that overtime, having a Hermit here is very welcome. We do have double flywheel on the Acrobat as well as Prospector, double tide actually on Gardener and First Officer, and no kiting on that Gardener, which is a little bit surprising. But full borrowed time is definitely not a bad thing. This is looking a little bit like my rank matches. Hello, Warden. We're trying to make me into a ZETA fan. We're really going for it, but connecting the ciphers right off the bat. Looking for a blue charge, it looks like, yeah, YoGG's gonna have no choice but to pick that up. Heading for the loop around first stop. And mkmldy is definitely going to be looking for... Ooh, nicely done with that stun. Very well aimed. We will actually be able to dodge the firebomb as well. All ciphers are being activated here through that connection. And I actually missed the persona here, but it does look like that's going to be... Is that Blink? Oh no, it's Teleport. Okay. Bit surprised it's not Warp, but with Insolence, yeah, Insolence, Detention, Teleport, definitely not bad for a large map here for Hermit. We are going to get that first hit in. It has been distributed across all survivors, but that does mean everybody else is stuck on red charge, and with the... Ooh, nicely done with that stun here. Emco taking the chase. Oh, but we do have Presence unlocked from Hermit, so Teleport is in play. Ooh, and nicely done there, taking advantage of the fact that, yeah, mkmldy noticing that the opposite polarity was going for a stun, and using that against Emco really, really effectively. Heading into Godkite here, though, a lot for Emco to work with. Blue charge here, it's going to be distributed across 3 members of the team. But without a barmaid and without any specified healer characters, it's going to be a little bit difficult for Fennel to distribute as much damage as they might hope to. But looking for that teleport once again, very nicely aimed, and we're going to see that hit go through. All survivors are 1 hit down here. If they had no polarity at all, it would be 1 hit down. So it's a bit of a sticky situation to be in. They're going to need to take time to heal. Cypher's honestly not looking too bad, though. We do have quite a bit of progress on the 3 that have been actually able to be worked on. Looking for another stun on Emco here. Nicely done. Okay, no, it will be taking him down. He wasn't sharing that polarity with anybody, so that will be our first down here. It was about a 3 to a 4 Cypher kite, though, so definitely not a bad situation at all to be in. Those Cyphers are looking beyond healthy, so it's actually... It could definitely still go either way here. Obviously, Fennel needs to complete those ciphers. We are still at 4 ciphers remaining, however close they may be to completion. But yeah, it's a little bit... It's dangerous for both sides here because of that, the damage being shared across the entire team as well. But we do have eyes on Emco here. Once again, he will be going straight down. Hermit at full presence here. And just trying to keep up as much as possible. It looks like we might be trying to distribute some more damage across the team. Are they going to swap off? Actually, no, they didn't swap off. That might be dangerous. Susuri being the only one to swap off here. Because somebody needs to get on blue charge. Somebody needs to get on blue charge right now, and it will down them. Or they just need to wait for a Cypher to be primed. But okay, we do have Myken on. That's actually okay. This is better. First officer will be downed if and when Gardner gets hit, but it'll allow him to go back to full health. So not the worst situation, and we're going for a double rescue here actually. It's a little bit dangerous. Yeah, YoGG just kind of getting caught in the mix there. We're going to actually miss the blue charge here, but we are looking for it. Oh, getting the blue charge on Emco. Nicely done, just with a little bit of delay here. Actually going to break the connection here. And once again, using that stun, we will see a Terror Shock. Myken is back up, though. He was actually, he didn't use self-heal, so, yep. Sasori Myken going to heal up. 2 ciphers remaining, but once again, a lot of damage distributed across this team. And with our first elimination, oh, heading in the wrong direction here. But we do have teleport up, so yeah, this is kind of the dangerous part about Hermit, is that you can't tell what cipher is shaking when. You can't, if a cipher is shaking, you can't tell where it's coming from because all of the ciphers are on a connection. But if we're able to see Myken's shadow here... not quite having visibility. I don't think we have the visibility there. Or at the very least, we're electing to just not switch targets yet. Which, not a bad idea, because it's Myken. but allowing the survivors to heal up here is a little bit risky. But YoGG actually down. And we're going to teleport over to the Cypher. We do have Myken, but actually stunned right out of that pocket watch. And without being able to share that polarity with anybody, Sasori actually swapped off there. That is going to be a double down. Just really, really well played from mkmldy here. And this is exactly how a Hermit match should snowball. You know, even with the amount of progress that was on those ciphers, just the control that mkmldy has had over the ciphers on the map, over the damage on the survivors, over the polarity as well. And wait, look at that! Look at how far those last 3 ciphers are. Just using that to his advantage as well, forcing the survivors to just spread themselves thin. Really well done here. Now the Cypher is approaching Prime. But Teleport will be back up by the time it's even close to being popped. Getting the hit as well. Cypher nearly primed. Oh no. Oh, no, it's over. It's over. YoGG took the hit. And YoGG sharing the damage means that the Cypher can't pop. Oh no. Yep, that's triple down. That's over. There is no... Unless mkmldy just has no idea where Sasori fell, that's it. That's it. There's no way to... Oh, wait, the Cypher! Oh, YoGG was able to heal on time. It's not quite over yet. It's not quite over yet. It's not quite able to teleport yet as well. Or he can teleport, but I don't think he's going to unless... Are we going to teleport here? YoGG is at the gate. 10 seconds left on the ball teleport, but neither survivor at a gate. YoGG being acrobat here also not really helping in that situation. But oh, we have found YoGG out. Going to go for the firebomb here. Hermit not able to use any skills. But yeah, he is just going to go straight down. Sasori at the gate. Are we going to teleport? No, because we don't need a 4-man. We only need a 3-man. If he's able to just get this one last elimination. It's going in basement for extra insurance. And there is nothing that Fennel can do that would be in any way safe. And mkmldy knows it. He's like, what are you gonna do? Come and rescue? Nope. Can't come and rescue, just have to take the solo escape, and that is going to be ZETA's first win of the season. And the first win in IJL of the season. ZETA win. But just really, really well done there from mkmldy. Just such an impressive debut performance. It's so well done, especially, you know, coming out as the new hunter for a team that has been on top this entire time. Brand new hunter, 0 competitive experience before this, or at the very least very, very little competitive experience before this, and never on a professional level. So just, yeah, incredible to see. And I'm really excited to watch ZETA this season as well. But yeah, that's all for that match. And we'll be heading through the rest of day 1 over the course of the week. So yeah, thank you for watching. And yeah, stay tuned for the rest of IJL.